Hello guys, welcome to another episode of China Uncle Mikey. This is a new setup in my apartment in Sweden, and I think in the future, the majority of the topic or talking videos that I will use this setup. Hope you guys will love it. So today I'm going to bring you another topic, which is regarding to the China education system. Recently, there was a video clip about a Chinese teacher in the classroom that blaming the whole class and give them a discipline. That video presenting the current situation of education in China, and I will play the video clip first, and let's check this out.
就出生，就这些学生都百姓，干嘛都有，谁不懂事儿，谁没有家教？一往住到我班里的学生啊，全都是家长，都是当官的，要不就是家里面条件特别好，事业单位的，都对这个学生的教育非常的上心，家长都极为有素质，你办你对一下你们的家长有多有素质，所以你才能够信口开河，张嘴说话。怎么不说话呀？你不问问你自己吗？怎么不说话呀？为什么不说话呀？怎么你非说话呀？你妈妈一个月挣多少钱呢？啊？你妈妈一个月挣多少钱呢？别忘了瞧不起你，我告诉你，妈妈一年挣的钱都比你妈妈50年挣的多，你们素质是一样的吗？不能一样吗？不可能一样。
So after checking out this video, I think you guys will pretty much be shocked by the attitude that the teacher was trying to blaming and disciplining the class in a very violent way. You know, her language was like really brutal, and her voice was really high, and it gives people impression like how the teacher acting or behave in the class. Actually, I don't think in the Western country you do have such role in the class. This teacher's title is a 班主任. So 班主任, which means a person whose responsibility is try to make the class in order and try to let the kids behave what the school want them to behave. So usually they use discipline to punish the kids when the kids is not that follow the rules of the class. So I think 班主任, this specific title is only for the Chinese school. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the Chinese media, there was overwhelmingly one-sided opinion about this video, and this topic was talked in Chinese social media by the I don't think by the newspaper, but on a lot of websites like Weibo. They were spreading this video clip, and people were talking about this issue. So there are two main opinions on this event. So one problem is the value problem. So the teacher judging the students by which family they are from, the family background, such as the income of the family, the social class of the family, if the family is from a government official, and so and so. So our media, Chinese media, were blaming the teacher. Her moral is so low, and she shouldn't judging the school. She shouldn't judging the kids, the student by their family background. On the other hand, another thing that the media was blaming or condemning was the discrimination. So if the kids come from like a relatively low income family, the teacher trying to belittle them and try to attacking their self esteem and so and so. So this is the main viewpoint about the Chinese social media that looking at this issue in the school. And from my opinion, I don't think that's wrong, but I do want to give you some my point of view about this problem. So before I commenting this issue, so first I want to tell you the result. After the result, the investigation going on by the education department of our government, and this teacher were warned or severe warned by the Communist Party, and her position was downgraded, and her position was changed to some other irrelevant position. So she is no longer a 班主任more. And so now I'm going to talk about my opinion about this issue. So my opinion is you can't just like put all the blame on this teacher. I think the teacher is almost telling the reality or the truth of today's China's education system. So it is a kind of, I think it is a kind of hypocrisy that the media only talking about the teacher shouldn't, behave like this. I think the teacher behave as what she was expecting to behave. Because in the Chinese society, now you can see it everywhere, actually, like the teacher judging the students because of what family they are from. If they are from a quite rich family, the teacher will give them like a more, face or treat the students in a relatively better way. And the kids will get more opportunity. And on the other hand, if you are from a quite normal family, you don't have a lot of money. I'm not talking about like the parents are going to like bribe the teacher, but maybe some gift and the meals and a lot of these kind of things going on the table. So that will lead to your kids to have more opportunity, and your kids can get more, guidance by the teacher to improve their scores or performance in the school. And later on, maybe it will be decided your kids' graduation GPA or something. All these kind of things. So it is a reality of today's China society. And if I was in Shanghai, like a dating corner park. I made a video about this. And so nowadays, Chinese people are really judging people based on what kind of house you are living, what kind of car you are driving, how much income that you got annually. And before, it was like the education level is also important, and some other things like what kind of company you are working for. Now, especially recent like 5 years, it is more and more direct to the materialism, So when I went to that dating corner, those parents put a like white paper, and for the girls, they are talking about the height of the girl, the looking of the girl, and which kind of school or education that those girls experienced. But for a man, you have to literally write down how many house or apartment you own in Shanghai. So if you own 3 apartments, which means you have a pretty much wealthy background, and also like what kind of maybe car you own, and all this kind of materialism thing. I mean, materialism is very important, and money is very important. I think here in Sweden, the Swedish people, when it goes to the money, Swedish people are also very picky. But here it's doing another kind of thing. When you really need to talk about money, here they will talk about money and very direct. But when it goes to education and the medical system and all these like social welfare things, and here because it's free and the people don't have to worry. But in China, it's different. So if you are going to marry to someone who has relatively, stronger family background, or relatively family fortune is really enough for you to arrange the marriage, then it will give you more opportunities to, especially for a man. If for a man, if you don't have a apartment, you don't own an apartment, if you just rent, you will be looked down upon, especially in Shanghai and Beijing, those megacities. So another thing that I'm going to point out is the teacher, in this video actually is doing a proper work, or it is the work that this teacher should do. So usually in a Chinese school, and the teacher's goal is to let the students to obey. So how to let the students to obey to the orders of the teachers, which is in most of the case, the teacher is just attacking the students, attacking their confidence, attacking their self-esteem, to let them to feel, so bad about, not so bad about themselves, but let them to not that confident about themselves. When you are not that confident about yourself, I think you are pretty much easier to be managed. So the teacher will direct you to do. Also, this is another point, is another goal for the 班主任 is to give you a whole bunch of repetition work or study tasks that you have to perform in a certain period of time. That's why a lot of students are very stressed during the study period in the school. Personally, I experienced the Chinese education system up to the high school. I didn't do it in the graduate what's that called, in the university. But I believe this is something that the whole Chinese society need. The majority of the people are not that confident, or not that self-awareness. They need people to only know how to obey the order. So it is a pyramid structure, look like society. So when your upper layer, later, if those students go to the company, the managers can, control them, give them order. They can do a whole bunch of high load of work, but will not say too much things. They just execution with quantitize the work is the only aim of the education system want the people to be. So this is something that I want to talk about, because from my experience, when I was young, it was like during the 90s, the teacher were doing this kind of old way of education, and the teacher was quite violent and attacking, make you feel so bad about yourself. Then you always think, I'm not doing very good. It is the problem about myself. And I don't think this is very good to a young kid. But this is the way that how the education system manipulating and try to make the kids behave what they want they to behave. So yeah, this is the main thing that I want to point out. So Chinese education system is very result or performance oriented. So if your score is really high, which means you are a good student. If your score is not that good, and then you will be discriminated, and you will feel so bad about yourself in the school, and then the other student will discriminate you, and because you are so dumb, and then you wouldn't have a lot of opportunities in case of go to a good college, go to be we do have youth league, 共青团, and pioneer, you know, those young pioneers, and you will have no chance to be succeed. You know, I can't say that absolute, but you will get very less chance to be succeed in your later life in terms of like looking for a good job, finding or searching a job in the state-owned company, because we do have a whole bunch of record. We call it 档案. It's the file that always follow you to every you know, societal entity. So when you go to the state-owned company, they will look at your files and they will have all your skills, scores in the primary school, in the high school, in the university. So they judge you based on this kind of performance that you did in the school. So a good student is the top elites. Maybe their family has some connections and their family is very wealthy and willing to spend the money. But for the poor, and it is so sorry about that, and very bad. So yeah, this is what I'm going to say today, and hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time. China Uncle Mikey.